Okay, let's get started. Howdy. I just wanted to spend a bit of time and cheer up my spirits a bit by doing a live stream, and I'll just adjust this. Yeah, and answer a few questions, do a bit of either.io, tell you about the next upcoming project. Let's see if anyone has dropped in to say howdy. Unsupported resolution. Apparently, my resolution is wrong. Oh, hello, howdy. Good to see everyone. Yeah, so I'll be trying to answer as many questions as I can today, while also doing a bit of either.io, as well as telling you the next project. So, sorry the next project has taken so long. Basically, what I've got coming up next is Darkest Adult Cartoon episodes, and it's a full top 10 list, so it's taking me a bit longer than usual, way longer than I'd like, but hopefully it'll be interesting, yeah, and then got another couple of projects coming up after that. Now, before anything else, I'm going to answer whatever questions I can see. Let's see, what would you do if it started raining atomic bombs? Well, I'd probably spend some time with my loved ones, just to start the live stream off with a very positive question. I'd probably spend as much time as I could with my loved ones. Also, I've got some music playing in the background just for a bit of ambience. If you guys don't like the music, just let me know in the live stream if it's too loud or intrusive, and let me know if you have any problems hearing me. Look, I'm Strider. Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's in response to Carl's. Hello. Alright, so let's see. How do you feel about Steven Hilberg's death? Well, as I mentioned in my Twitter post, it's crushing. It's awful. It really hit me hard because his cartoon SpongeBob has given me so much comfort over the years. Like, I always look forward to doing a SpongeBob top list, and I'll go out of my way to do them. Just about every SpongeBob topic I can think of, creepiest, worst, best. And it's not because specifically SpongeBob is popular. It's just because I love SpongeBob, and I'm always put in a good mood. It's a complete terminal opposite of when I do a Family Guy list. When I do a Family Guy list, it's really unpleasant and very just not pleasant to talk about. But when I do a SpongeBob list, it's just always fun and enjoyable. It doesn't matter if it's the worst or best. Even when I did the worst SpongeBob list, it's still enjoyable because I like the characters so much. And Hilberg had made the new series 10 and 11 really good. Like, I was really impressed by the new... I know some of the other creators came back as well, but he made the new series really good. And just as I start saying that, a mowing lawn comes by. Lawnmower comes by. Hopefully that doesn't get too loud, but we'll see how we go with that. Also, Steven Hilberg from Majestic Pop Art. Oh, we have a question from Connor Johnson. Thanks to the thank you for the donation, Connor. Your question is, if I might recommend a movie, might I suggest Sideways? I haven't heard of that one. Sorry. By the way, guys, how is the background? Like, is the lawnmower too loud? Because some douchebag just decided to start lawn mowing right outside my units just as I started this stupid anyway, hopefully it isn't too intrusive and he'll probably shut up pretty soon. How old am I? It says a galactic yo-yo. I am 29. Okay, cool, thanks, Christy. Yep, he seems to have stopped now. Okay, and how warm is it in Australia? It's really cold here and raining. Howdy, Fanta. It is absolutely boiling here, as you've probably noticed. I'm sweating a bit and I'm in a different room because I'm trying to escape the sun and the lawnmowers. So, oh, come on, he's coming loud. He's coming closer to the house. Go away, shoo. I'm trying to talk to friends. Go away. Yeah, it's about 35 degrees and it's the only time I've been tempted to get into my running shirt, the live stream. This is that hot. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Have I ever watched Ed's World? I haven't actually watched Ed's World, sorry. Fetish Fuel. I don't know where that came from, Ferrari. Yay, I'm in Australia too. Well, I'm sorry you're also feeling the incredible heat then, Corrupted Nostalgia. Opinion on the Shrek remake. I haven't seen it yet, Adrian. Strider, have you been catching up on Miraculous Ladybug? It's starting to get pretty edgy. It's hard to imagine Miraculous Ladybug getting edgy. It's kind of the opposite of edgy to me, but it's very artistic and beautiful at the same time. I actually tend to tune in because it's nice and cheesy, and, you know, we have people being evil-eyes. That's part of the fun of it. Which person do you find the most fun to collab with? From MBC Mechachu. It's... I can tell you how I feel about collabing with all my friends. To start with, Doug is obviously really fun to collab with. He'll send lots of different takes and stuff, you know, and go over the lines carefully and add his own touch. On the occasions he does come on, he's a lot of fun to collab with. Probably the most fun is Robin or Dennis. It's hard to say. Robin probably, because she'll kind of add her own touch to it and really take her time to make it her own. It feels like more of a joint project when she helps out. Which is, I mean, it's a joint project for all of them. George adds his own touch too. George is probably the most punctual. He is very quick to get everything done and that sort of thing. You know, he knows, as you can see from his top list, he knows how to organize stuff and keep stuff on a good schedule. Who else have I collabed with? Yeah, Alpha's fine to collab with as well. You know, he was relatively quick with his lines and stuff. And let's see, I think that's most of the people I've collabed with, actually. And we have a question from Bria Tias. Thank you very much for the donation, Bria. She asks, what's your favorite food? Well, my favorite food would be probably apples. I like chicken. I have so many apples, and I have a lot of stir fry with very lean chicken. I tend to have very lots of low-fat foods, and mainly because, you know, my gut doesn't handle them very well. I just tend to eat leaner foods, and love tortillas, light tortillas and stuff. Tend to have a lot of kangaroo mince and stuff because it's quite light as well, and just generally stuff that old people eat because it's easier on the heart. Anyway, oh good, yeah. The mower's finished the Entity of Darkness, so hopefully you shouldn't be hearing anything now except the fan running, which let's see, Phantom Moon. You can show that. Do you have watched the NFL? Sorry, John O'Deary, I don't watch the NFL myself. I've never been really big into sports. I do really enjoy the Olympics, and I love seeing the ice dancing. I love ice dancing, that's so cool. Dancing in itself is just such a beautiful thing for me to witness, so I always enjoy that. And obviously I enjoy running and stuff. Let's see. From Ivan Knight. Thank you very much for donation, Ivan. He says, favorite music? My favorite modern band is Tame Impala. This is going to sound really weird, and it probably makes me sound old to you guys, but I tend to listen to very calm, some chill jazz or calm music, because when I mostly listen to music, it's in the car, and generally that's when I'm like, "Argh!" And everyone's trying to, you know, get out to get me. Brain kind of goes into fight or flight mode in the car because everyone's cutting you off in traffic and tailgating you, and it's just that. So I tend to listen to a lot of Jeremy Soule, and like his Morrowind tracks, his Neverwinter Nights tracks, and that probably sounds so nerdy, but I'm among geeks of cartoons, so you guys would understand and probably have your own stuff you enjoy. It's pretty geeky. Yes, chill jazz. I guess that isn't really a term, is it? Memes universe. Total Drama Ricky, thank you very much for the donation. Ricky, what's the best video you ever did? You know, I've been looking back lately because I'm in the kind of point right now where I need a little bit of comfort to say, because I get upset and worried if I'm not being what I consider productive, and because I'm at the point now where I can't really see any progress in the last week, and traffic's starting to go down, I start to feel worried, so I start to look at some of my old videos just to remind myself, I've got a good library, I've been doing this for 4 years, you know, people can still enjoy my videos. And the one I tended to look back on and enjoy the most actually was Best Disney Movies. I realized I was so passionate in that, and I was happy with all my choices, and people seem to have really enjoyed it sort of consistently over the years, and it's just a lovely video to me. And Worst Disney Movies was not quite as I wasn't quite as happy with. I felt like my argument could have been better. I felt like my argument for number one was too similar with Chicken Little to Doug's argument, but he didn't mind. Actually, he ended up shouting it out. So yeah, probably Best Disney Movies. I like Best Modern Cartoons, but I'm mixed on some of my first there's a lot I'd move around. Like, I'm not sure I'd put Loud House on there anymore. I'd probably move Legend of Korra to further closer to number 1. I'd probably still put Steven Universe at number 1. Still put Adventure Time at number 2, definitely. So I quite enjoy those. I'd be curious of some of other people's favorites, actually. I'd love to do just a list of that for funsies, and it seems very self-centered. Cameron B asks your thoughts on Toy Story 4. To be honest, we haven't got it in Australia yet, Toy Story 4. If you mean my thoughts on it coming out at all, it's a funny thing with Toy Story 4, because I think a lot of us have mixed thoughts, because you kind of want to see Woody, Buzz, and everyone come back, but at the same time, like, 3 ended it so well, you don't want to see that kind of ruined, that legacy. So how about jazz music as background music? Out of curiosity, is the music too loud for you guys, or is it just about right? Hey Rekno, oh, hey, good to see you, man. Rekno, I've seen you many times over the years, and I appreciate your support, my friend. I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph yet, because again, I'm in Australia, and everything has to come out whenever the hell Australia gets around to it, I guess. Very rarely do we. I think Star Wars comes out simultaneously around the world, but we tend to get, we drag a lot on animation. I think that's the thing. The only one we got sooner was Hotel Transylvania 3. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and hi, Kenyon. Yeah, Kenyon. Let's see. Do you have any opinion on Daredevil being cancelled? I'm sorry, Reverend Raven. I never watched much of Daredevil. Let's see. Do you like Princess and the Frog? Asked Carlos. Yeah, I sure do, actually. It was one of the last, I think it was the last 2D animated movie we got from Disney, and to me they went out with a bang. I mean, the problem is that it has some mixed moments, like, and sometimes the tonal shift is a bit weird, but I liked the main character a lot, and it's so different. Like, even the voodoo villain is just so different from what we normally get in Disney. So I was, okay, thanks for letting me know about that Entity of Darkness. Music is just right, cool. And the main character herself, and I like the side character Princess as well. She's really vibrant and alive. It's a case where I don't really remember much about the story, but the characters are so colorful and different that I do really enjoy Princess and the Frog. Opinion on the Grinch movie, Cell Specs is the best one to ask about that, as you probably know. She always does well with her movie reviews of animated movies. Yeah, so I haven't actually seen that yet, Adrian. Someone asked me to go see it, and I don't know, if you guys would really be curious in my opinion on it, I might see it. It's up to you. You let me know if you'd be interested in me seeing it. What do you prefer, hand-drawn animation or Flash? I personally like both. That question is from... well, I can't, oh, here we go. Colonel Nonsense. Colonel Nonsense. Sound like Homestar. Yeah, I enjoy both. I think, the problem is that with Flash, I've seen it so much over the years, and it's often used in much more, there's a lot less thought put into it sometimes, because it'll be from a much smaller studio of people, because it might just be from some 16-year-old in his basement, which is amazing, that, and it's great they have the opportunity to do that. But I'm used to seeing much more professional stuff in hand-drawn animation, and there is just nothing like, when you look at something like Cinderella or Snow White, or most of all, Sleeping Beauty. I remember nothing about Sleeping Beauty except the beautiful hand-drawn fantasy animation. So, yeah, I'd say hand-drawn gets it hands down, because they really have to think carefully about what they do with hand-drawn animation. And thank you very much for the donation, Plush Shack. Your question is, hey Strider, what's up? Sorry for sending this 3 times. Oh, I'm sorry if I missed it 3 times, Plush Shack. Even not focusing on either.io, I'm still way too slow. And Memes Universe says, we are number 1. I know you're thinking of that awesome Lazytown song, aren't you? Let's see, top 5 or 10 worst superhero movies. There's a lot to work with, lol. Yeah, but again, I mean, people just don't seem that interested. I really thought it was important to do the recent video on best and worst Marvel movies for obvious reasons, but there just wasn't much interest. Again, like the core audience of you guys and a few and other people, that closer audience, still enjoyed it, and I think it's important for them. But at the moment, I'm trying to focus on something that reaches more of the subscriber base. You know, the 400,000 people subscribed tend to have more of an interest in animation, which is fair enough. Animation is what I mostly do. And it just gets stomped into the ground by the algorithm if I don't focus on animation. So I'm probably going to release an animation one next, but I may eventually do superhero movies. Oh, Plush Shack again. The Plush Shack. Oh, of course, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. Thank you again for the donation, Charlie. I really appreciate it. I'll speak to you on Patreon and Discord. Xbox or PlayStation user? You know, I never got an Xbox. Actually, no, I did. I got an Xbox pre-used years later to play Shenmue 2. Oh, that was from Dark Hardison, by the way. But I did get a PlayStation 2 when I was much younger. I saved up slowly just to play DSM, so I could do DDR on the on the PlayStation 2 and didn't have to go to the arcade all the time. The mat, though, of course, was like a $10 mat and just fell apart and wasn't very good. Yeah, it gave me a good workout, though. Favorite kind of cookie? Asks Fanta. I'd say choc chip, but you know, Oreos. But the problem with Oreos is that they are too good. Like a peanuts Oreo cookie is just incredible. But the problem is like they've been so specifically designed to hit that bliss point of our brains, so they feel so good to eat that you don't want to eat them. You don't want to stop eating them, and you could eat like 2,000 calories packets worth and just feel like crap afterwards. So I don't tend to eat as much of in the recent year, don't tend to eat much of the really marketable chocolate like Cadbury, because I realized it hits that bliss point of your brain so well that you can't, it takes insane discipline to control yourself from stopping. You can't just slowly eat it and enjoy it like, say, a piece of cake or something. You've just like, it's incredible. It's like doing something with someone beautiful. It's so I don't like that about some of the recent, like, really tasty foods, like that they're so tasty that you just go insane and have to eat the whole lot. I don't know if that sounds weird, enjoying something too much, but that's certainly the case with Oreos. And the guy who makes Oreos also makes a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's all designed to be incredibly addictive. So, yeah, it's a bit like Coke. I have mixed thoughts on it. So we have thank you very much for the donation, Movie Critic Dude. Who's more evil, Mandy from the Grimm or Cartman from South Park? Oh, easily Cartman. Easily Cartman. He's a sociopath, psychopath. There are certain things Mandy won't do, and it feels justifiable and relatable with Mandy because she's around so many idiots. So no, I would definitely say to Movie Critic Dude, that's definitely Cartman. And Anime Awesome Lopez, thank you very much for the donation. You asked, what's your opinion on YouTube animation's top 10? Well, they're fine. I mean, that's the way of the future now, is that as people get better budgets and more people aware of their channels, they tend to get higher budgets, and you know, because of that, we can get some great animation. I know, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but there's a guy who does insanely popular videos just using sort of stick animation, and yeah, I mean, some of them are very ultra simplistic, but they do the job and can often tell us some really interesting stories, you know, and we certainly all tune in for them, given the views of some of them. So I think it's the way of the future in many ways. I mean, there'll always be stuff like Netflix, fortunately, but certainly there's a lot of room for YouTube animation now. Best South Park character, asked John O'Deary. Hey, you've got 2 questions, John. I keep on seeing your questions for some reason. My favorite is probably Butters, just because I think he's so fun to watch in that he's so simply good and enjoyable and pure, but not stupid at the same time, and he's still been through a whole bunch of crap, but he just keeps a very positive outlook, and I really respect that. I love South Park too, Majestic Pop-Tart. And let's see, yes, Corrupted, he likes MLP. Yes, I do, Matthew Powell. I quite enjoy Friendship is Magic. Not all the episodes. The way I put it in Best and Worst Girls Cartoons is that it's a whole bunch of B's and B pluses for me, with the occasional A, and something like Kim Possible or Disney produced or DuckTales 2017 is a consistent A, and that's what's the A pluses you occasionally get on My Little Pony is so good, you know. But again, I don't watch that much of it. Caden Mank, can I have a shout out? Yes, you can, Caden. Howdy. Worst movie in the Shrek franchise. Well, I talked about Shrek 3, was it? In worst and best DreamWorks movies, and yeah, I'd say that was the least favorite one. If you consider the Shrek 3D ride a game, then that would be the worst, but I don't think many people do. Oh, is Mercedes off already? Sorry, I didn't even see you pop in. Sorry. Hello to you, Mercedes, and hello to you, Christy. You're not wrong, so you need to collab with CellSpecs. CellSpecs never contacted me. I think she just sort of sticks to her own thing, and if she ever wants to contact me, she's welcome to. You know, let's see. Although Strider looked more Chinese, you can never fail to mention about that, Banter, my friend. Sinista. Let's see. How do you feel about being featured in Mr. Enter's Review of the Emoji Movie? Yeah. We chat to each other quite regularly, MBC Mechichu. We haven't chatted much in the last month. We'll occasionally Skype each other if we have questions or personal stuff we want to sort of just decide on whether to do. Occasional chat community stuff, you know. It's good to have that insider perspective, just as someone who's kind of a relatively similar area in the field, and you know, I always try to be a support if he's being picked on a bit, as best I can. So yeah, I was happy to be in that. I was happy to get his sort of opposing opinion on Big Mouth. Yeah, it was good. Oh, damn it. Okay. Turbo Pikachu X, thank you very much for the donation, Turbo. You ask, I'd love to see a stream of your favorite video games. I'm thinking of doing best and worst video game cartoons, actually. In terms of what I tend to play the most, it's really silly, and I think most people know this, but I just play Plants vs. Zombie 2 on my computer quite often at night, just to have something to tune out to. I've gotten quite good at it, but it's also a very frustrating game over the years, and I don't like the pay-to-play system, and I don't pay for it, but, you know, they always kind of push that in your face since it's a mobile game. Lazytown or Miraculous Ladybug? Asked 51st Ferrari. I would go for... Oh, that's a tough one. I like both of them too much. They both give me pleasant experiences on both sides. I would probably say Lazytown is really magical to me, but Miraculous Ladybug is not quite as much for young kids as Lazytown, so I probably enjoy Miraculous Ladybug more, but I find Lazytown really fascinating in what it's teaching kids. Alrighty, and DC or Marvel? Marvel, easily, Jasmine Toad. Please answer me, please, says Garrison Blocker. What am I answering, Garrison? Sorry if I missed your question, I'm going as fast as I can. Hopefully I'll answer a few questions. I apologize if I miss yours. Have you seen Steamboat Willie or Plain Crazy? Oh yeah, those are the first Mickey cartoons, I believe. Of course, yeah. Most people, I think, who've researched Disney have seen those. They're just the very first Steamboat Willie. There's not much to say. It's very catchy. You tend to remember it because they tend to use voices a lot less and tend to rely more on music and harmony, making a sort of beat out of it. It's funny how in the earlier cartoons we mix music and visual entertainment together into something entirely its own, and I think that's one of the fascinating things about it. Do you remember the Lizzie Fandom Trash asked, do you remember the British kid in South Park, Pip? If so, do you like him? I didn't mind Pip. I quite liked that episode he got all by himself where he met that crazy lady that was based off some British story. Yes, no, he's fine. Pip's fine. I don't think he needed to be killed off, but I certainly didn't dislike him. And Sass Movie, thank you very much for the donation. You ask, have you seen The Big Snit? If so, thoughts? I'm very sorry, Kat. I haven't actually seen The Big Snit, but I will look it up right now. See what it is, because I am curious. Whoa, that's kind of ugly animation. A short British comedy from 1985. Couples fights over a Scrabble game leave them totally unaware that nuclear war has started. You know, that sounds like a much more comedic version of, what did I review in Creepiest Animated Movies? Oh, I've forgotten the name. Where the bombs drop and the really unaware couple keeps believing in the government and they just let themselves die in sacks and it's really horrible. Well, that one. It's similar to that one. Who inspired you to make YouTube? Goldar HRs. Well, I just really enjoyed Futurama and wanted to talk about it. Originally, I started by doing a Dragon Ball GT review because all I could find on when I looked up Dragon Ball GT was basically kids yelling into webcams about how much it sucks. And I was like, these people are getting 10,000 views for their yelling about how much GT sucks. And I actually really like GT, so I was like, I'm going to produce a good review. It's going to have lots of good animation and stuff, give both sides. And I tried to explain my points. And people still hate GT, but at least my point is there. And you know, that got a whole 10,000 views, so I was happy with that. Anyway, yeah, so that was probably what inspired me. Probably the person that inspires me most on YouTube is Mr. Rogers, I would say probably. Yeah, I try to just be open and calm and kind like him, and I think we lead by example in what we do rather than what we say, so I think it's a very important thing, because the crazy thing is that YouTubers now have more influence than actual pop stars, actual movie stars, and that's quite scary actually, because we're essentially raising and seeing an explosion of child stars right now, and child stars, they can kind of stop. This is waxing a little bit of philosophical and deep psychological stuff, but I'll tell you anyway. Stars themselves in Hollywood, people tend to stop growing once we start getting all that recognition and fame. I mean, just even in a small community like we have here, I've got all these people who appreciate me so much, and it doesn't require me to grow as much character. And I think that means we get some very interesting people who I don't think are always the best influence. Some great people on YouTube, but I think some of these child stars who start from when they're 13, they can end up a little bit of a messed up example for young kids, and so I try to always be a good example in the smaller community I have. Anyway, I'm dragging on too long, sorry. XXOX Man asks, sorry if you already addressed this, but what do you think of the Disney live-action movies on the way in 2019? I've kind of tuned out from them, to be honest. Beauty and the Beast was so poor to me in that I just thought it was so a repeat and a crap on the original, and I was pretty underwhelmed by Jungle Book. So, I mean, they're interesting and they serve a purpose and there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, they're well produced, they're interesting, but I've seen them before because they're live action remakes. And so, I'll see them any day over, you know, I don't know, a crappy emoji movie or something like that. But I just feel I much prefer the animation of Disney than the live-action remakes. I'm not really that much interested in seeing Lion King. I'd love to see the sequel of Mary Poppins. I love Mary Poppins, as you know, so no big thoughts on them. Let's see, have you seen... what the frick, says Christy. Sorry, hard for me to keep up. Jazz says, oh, hello, Bethany. What, John Charles asks, what are your thoughts on Disney creating their own streaming service called Disney Plus? You know, Disney just gets their mitts into everything, don't they? I noticed they make, they've even taken over an online game called Penguin, I can't remember the Penguin game it is, but it's like, excuse me, a game that's generally aimed at a younger demographic about lots of mini games of penguins, Penguin Island or something like that. So they get their mitts in everything, but I still like Penguin Island. I just tried it last night because I was curious, and I'm like, this is still good. So they always produce something solid that no one can go, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. Let's see, what's your opinion on Christopher Robin? Asked Memes Universe. As I mentioned before, I wasn't a big fan, saw it with my mom, and we both teared up a bit at certain parts, but I felt it went on way too long, and Christopher Robin wasn't really relatable because he was so mean and so neglectful to his daughter and wife, so ignorant, and I didn't like how it all had to come together at the end. He had to work out that apparently people need more vacations, and that allowed him to stay ahead in his business. He should have disregarded his business because that wasn't as important. I think he should have been fired. I think that would have been the best resolvement, and find something he actually enjoys that lets him have a balanced work life. Anyway, yeah, it was my thoughts, but it was okay, and I thought the characters, the plushes looked a little bit uncanny. I didn't quite like how Pooh looked and Tigger. Do you have a cousin? Asks Chotaga Hidraso Yes, yes, I do, and he's in Canada, and he is lovely. I tend to pen pal and chat with him quite regularly. You know, when I went to see Canada last, he's very sporty like me and very clever fellow. Let's see. I saw a Nutcracker film recently. Says Recno. It was pretty good. At least it was original. Well, you know, original live action is good to see through kind of the influx of remakes. And yes, Sophie Blitzsinger, that was what I was thinking of before. Club Penguin. I'm going to try something weird and say all the names in a Homestar format. Lola Ray asks, what do you think of the Shrek remake with Minions? I'm sorry, Lola Ray, I haven't actually seen it yet. I'm a little bit behind on my movie watching lately. Ian Anderson asks, I saw Urotsuki Goji because of your controversial anime list, which is actually unlisted now. Did you look through my Patreon list? I'm not sure how you saw that. Not bad, but not as disturbing as I hoped. Well, what was, I guess, got it the most credit was the fact that it created tentacles in Japan. Like, I think that itself deserves a Golden Raspberry Award for bringing that. Let's see. Can you say my username in the Homestar format? Kentucky Wall Chicken. Christy. Any new South Park? Dead Channel ask any new South Park. I haven't seen much South Park lately, to be honest. You know, it's really shameful because I've used their style of avatar on to represent my channel, but I just haven't watched much South Park lately. It's become so serious and so heavy that and if you miss one, it's a bit like modern Adventure Time. You miss one, you just miss so much, and you have to go catch up. Unlike Simpsons, where I can just tune in to any old episode, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have continuity. Obviously, we have a lot more of it in the Netflix age because we can just watch them all back to back. But I haven't watched much of it lately because it's been so serious and so heavy, and if I miss an episode, I just am completely lost on what's going on because something serious will be going on, and I'll just be like, wait, what episode did I miss? And people will tell me, well, you have to go back to season 21 or season 20 to the end of this season. I'm just like, oh, stuff it. Oh, whoa, holy, Crimson, thank you very much for the $50 donation. I'm very appreciative. Thank you. Really appreciate it. What can I answer for you, my friend? It's good to see you, by the way, man. I haven't seen you much on Discord, Patreon lately, and I hope your mental health has been going well and you're doing okay. I was thinking of hiring you as an editor for a while, but I know you've been a bit overwhelmed because I've seen you've done great work with Enter. So if you ever do need a job, you know, come chat with me if you'd like. Anyway, your question is, howdy. I wanted to say thank you for the great support towards Mr. Enter and the rest of the cartoon community. You're one of the most kindest people in the community, and I want to give you my thanks. Thank you, Crimson. I'm really grateful for this community in itself. I put out a little Twitter message recently saying, how do you feel about this community, this channel's community, in terms of your reactions with them, your interactions with them? And you know, it seemed pretty positive, and I was really happy with that, you know, and I thought, yeah, I'm so proud of this community. To have any part of this community is so cool. To have this is the community that represents my channel, I just think, makes me so proud, and it cheers me up significantly. So thank you to you as well, Crimson, for all you've contributed as well. Anyway, so the next question is, are you excited for the new Spider-Man movie? Sorry, I missed that. It just streamed by. Emily Lepsico says, ahoy there. And I forgot to do it in Homestar format. The Crimson Mayhem. I know what country I want him to travel to the most right now, Peppy. Oh, California? I want to go to California. Okay. My show, Cody Bibby asks, my show is hoping to mix story action with a touch of comedy. Crazy Chick asks, 961 asks, when do you do a best SpongeBob list? I really want to. I really, really want to. In fact, someone, I think it was Emily, actually offered me a script for it, but couldn't really release it because I'm just so swamped at the moment trying to get this top 10 list organized. This is the problem when I do top 10s, is that it all takes so long to organize, and so much has been happening lately in the cartoon community, and I haven't been able to respond to it. So that's my fault. I get frustrated sometimes because I can't work as fast as I'd like. I see a lot of people on YouTube who can work much faster than me, but I can only function and work at a certain speed, and that's not as fast as I'd like. Hank and his brother talk about this sometimes, and I kind of agree. Even if we want to work faster, we each kind of have a preset maximum amount we can work and still remain mentally functional. So I really do want to do it, and it needs to be done because it hit me so deeply that SpongeBob's creator has passed away, and so suddenly. So I definitely would like to very soon. Let's see. Sophie Blitzinger asks, I heavily doubt you'll see this. Sophie Blitzinger asks, I heavily doubt you'll see this, but who's your favorite Muppet? Oh, it's so... You know, I really like Fozzie. Fozzie's really cool, and Kermit's nice as well. Kermit's very composed, and as weird as it is, I kind of relate to Kermit the Frog. He's just kind of that composed, quiet guy, and I relate to that a little bit, I guess. And Fozzie, I love his delivery and his bad jokes. He always delivers a bad joke just really well. If ever there's a bad joke, I want to hear Fozzie deliver it. Beaker. Yeah, I never liked Beaker much myself, Christy. I was just like, she's very, they're a very one-trick pony to me, sort of me. Yes, she says me, or he says me. Both series of Sailor Moon have their ups and downs. Some certainly do, Squidward. I felt really bad for not inviting... I was originally going to invite Robin on for a quick cameo, but I was running so behind schedule on Darkest Girls cartoon episodes to talk about that, and she has an encyclopedia of knowledge on it, and I couldn't really understand and compress that into my 2-minute format, so I was just like, I didn't see this, I'm just going to put down what I know of it. It's a case where I really wanted to have her on there. Have you seen the 2015 Muppet Show? Asks Ginger Conker. I certainly have, Ginger. I really enjoyed it. It was a fantastic remake, and it really shows... why I'm happy that Disney buys up certain franchises, because they can really revive it and bring it back with posterity and peace and peace. They brought back the sequel well. I liked Muppets Most Wanted as well. That's considered a bad sequel for some reason, but I don't know why, because I actually think a lot of the jokes in it were better than the Muppets 2015. We have a question from Mari Cross. She says, Howdy, Strider, how are you today? I just finished celebrating Rockport, Texas's annual Christmas festival. That sounds very hot, and like, by that I mean, you know, it sounds like you're in a very hot tropical climate. And I do understand what that's like. I really would love to see a cold Christmas. I bet you would as well, like a white Christmas. I'm not dreaming of a white Christmas, but it really would be nice. Evan says, hey Strider, first time turning into the stream. Well, howdy to you too, Evan. Thanks for dropping in. Do I celebrate Christmas, says Memes Universe? I keep seeing your questions, Memes. I'm trying to balance it out, but I just happen to keep seeing yours. Yeah, of course, I celebrate Christmas with my family, you know, and I don't set up decorations, as you see. I'm extremely minimalist in most of my housing stuff. But, yeah, my mom sets up a tree and stuff, and we have a lunch together, which is nice. Do you have any pets, Strosh? From Phantom, Evan, and Memes Universe. I just can't do Homestar well. I love Homestar, but I can't do his voice well. If that gets annoying, tell me to stop. No, I don't have any pets. My mom has a dog, and it was really nice because I used to have a bit of a phobia for dogs, and I've gotten much better with them. And yeah, I walk Rastus regularly. It's from my sister-in-law. Yeah, she owns the dog, but And yeah, and obviously cats. My mom has cats, like most mums. Not all of them, but most that I've met. Weirdo Who Watches says, "Hi, Strider!" Exclamation. Howdy, Weirdo Who Watches. Weirdo Who Watches. I have a niece that watches you, says Niall Lynn, says, and please say howdy, patience, to the camera. Howdy, patience, how you going? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you checking my vids out. And howdy to you too, Niall Lynn. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please, 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 well, hopefully saying howdy to you and Patience and Niall. Have you ever thought of the worst or best video game movies? Yeah, well, the closest I'm doing at the moment, Cody Bibby, is worst and best video game cartoons, which is basically talking about like the Kirby series and the Donkey Kong series and the Mario series, and I've had a little bit of help from Drew with that. It's still being produced as, you know, as we sort of iron out the details and we look at his writing and stuff, but hopefully that will be brought to you in the future. See how we go. Do you like Girls Last 2? Asked Majestic Pop Tart. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it myself. Majestic Pop Art. Making a new Flintstones. Dante Bazia asks, what are your thoughts on Warner Brothers making a new Flintstones, Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, Wacky Races, and Scooby-Doo's movies for the theaters? What a surprise! A new Scooby-Doo movie? Who would have thought it? Oh, that's so shocking. It's completely unsurprising. We've seen so many Tom and Jerry remakes. I mean, Warner Brothers are the ones who bring us these kind of cash-in remakes nowadays, like Willy Wonka, and Tom and Jerry, and they're the ones who do all this. So, I don't know. I'm really liking some of the Netflix exclusive remakes, like Danger Mouse, but I haven't been particularly impressed with Warner Brothers remakes so far, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, Dante. Gonzo is weird. I love him. Are they planning... Sorry, I lost my place on the page. Favorite season of Family Guy? I like season 2. Ask Grace McFarlane. Grace McFarlane. It's a tough one. Maybe season 5 or... The one with PTV was really good, really good. That was just when they were at the right amount of obnoxious and different from Simpsons, but not hating the show and needing to move on. Like the writers are screaming at us to stop watching, basically. So, yeah, I've mixed thoughts on a lot of the later seasons, obviously, but I quite enjoyed that. Oh, hello, Bethany. Oh, hello, Bethany, says, I'm wide awake, and speaks of music notes. I wish winter could be an option. I'm really wishing winter should be an option right now, Fanta. It is so boiling. Luigi's World asks, do you like Super Mario World cartoon? Well, I'll hopefully reveal that in one of the upcoming lists, my friend. Overall, I'm no real problem with it. I think it's one of, despite the lazy animation, I found it more interesting than a lot of Deke Animation's recent stuff. Or not recent, less recent stuff. Hey Strider. Zachary Dub Rotten says, hey Strider, hope you have a great day. I have a top 10 list you can do. Do top 10 best modern SpongeBob episodes. You know, that's a good idea. I would love to cover exclusively season 10 and 11 because that's when Steven Hilberg came back and brought us some of this new stuff. And I used to individually review a couple of them, and I haven't had the time lately, but yeah, I would like to do that. Regit Mino says, is it okay if I watch your videos? You say bad words in it, and I'm 10. Well, given you have the social conscience to actually ask, that I would say you have a good enough mind on your shoulders to be able to look by my bad language. I don't know what language people would object to. I mean, the only thing I've been contacted about by mothers tends to be that I will use the words sex and orgasm, and because I don't consider those bad words. I think it's okay that children know about sex. I think there's no problem with that, and I try to promote that. And I also might use analogies for So yeah, that might be bad words, and damn I use, but that's not a bad word. I tend, or crap occasionally. But basically I think if Strong Bad uses, it's not a bad word. There's much worse language being used by people on YouTube than what I use, I think, Regit. What is your favorite video you've made this year? Says Zach Gators. Probably Darkest Girls cartoon episodes, to be honest. It let me talk about a lot of different subjects. I've always wanted to talk about some subjects like anorexia. I mean, to get the excuse to talk about Earth Girl Arjuna, which probably people didn't like because it's so obscure, but it also has a powerful message. And even if only 10% of my audience is watching at that point, it's so cool to me that I can at least give that message to, or at least offer or present that message to that audience, you know. That's really beautiful to me, that maybe I can possibly do some good, even if just in a small way. Phantom Moon says, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Yes, indeed. We don't do much of that in Australia. It's so damn hot. We mostly sit in air conditioning when we can. Or have barbecues, mate. Are you going to see the Transformers spin-off Bumblebee? No, Angelo Charrington. I don't think I will. I saw the ad for it and I was as unimpressed as usual. By the ad anyway. It didn't look like... I don't know, is it still produced by Michael Bay? Probably. It still looks like Michael Bay. And Kathleen Campbell says, Happy Sunday. And happy Sunday to you too, Kathleen. Majestic Mage Maniac asks, despite the hate it gets, what is your favorite episode of SpongeBob? Rest in peace, Stephen Hellberg. I don't really have a favorite. That's the thing, is that we've gotten so many good episodes. Like, maybe when I do Best SpongeBob list, I'll talk about some of my favorites. But I've just really enjoyed, from a genuine place of feeling like I'm back in season 1 to 3, season 10 and 11, because of Steven's influence on that and the other writers and creators who came back. So really enjoyed that. Let's see. Howdy. Uvi the Unicorn says, Howdy Strider, I really enjoy your videos. I've got a question for you. What is your favorite Big Mouth episode or character? I really like the dad of the main character, not the one who is like really, the one who happens to be a Jew and is like really high-strung and mean. The two parents that are really alternative and progressive. Like his dad does the nicest thing, and when his son accidentally exposes himself to everyone, he walks up next to him without a second thought and exposes himself too. And I just think that is simultaneously disgusting, but summarizes but beautiful at the same time. And that summarizes Big Mouth so well. Because if you look at it from the surface, a full-grown adult exposing himself to a bunch of adults and children is probably going to be disgusting. From a surface review, that's disgusting. But he was doing it because he needed to lower himself to that level so his son was not alone. And in that moment, I was like, oh my god, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And he gets arrested, obviously. They drag him away. And his dad's just like, Dad, please. And his son's like, please pull up your pants, Dad. But that's part of what's so beautiful to me about Big Mouth, that I don't think I can appropriately communicate to people who are just looking at the surface and saying, this is crass, this is blah, there's a talking vagina, blah. And I don't think everyone will ever get that, and I think that's sad. But it gets enough attention that it gets a second and third season, so I'm happy about that. I don't think the second season was nearly as good as the first. Not as good. I thought there was too much crass, and I don't like the main character anymore. And I hate the way he tries to get in the pants of this girl. It's just so childish, and even at 9, I wouldn't have done that. So I just... ugh. I think the Shame Monster being added was really cool as well. And I've gone on a tangent about Big Mouth because I do enjoy that show a bit. I know it has cringy moments, but I do enjoy it. Anyway, we have a question from Connor Whitecotton. Thank you very much for the donation, Connor. Your question is, who is your favorite Muppet from Sesame Street? I'm kind of partial to Elmo and Big Bird, I think. Big Bird is really cool. Elmo, everyone loves, though. Is like, he's such an iconic creature, such an iconic character. So, yeah, I really do enjoy Elmo and Big Bird. Big Bird can be... What I like about Big Bird, he's so tall and kind of intimidating, but at the same time, he's so gentle on the inside. And that was kind of, it's going to sound egocentric, but that was kind of the way I felt in high school, as I could get angry and stuff, you know, and I could occasionally, like, that sort of thing. But, you know, most of the time I tried to just be a kind, good person, but very tall and kind of stood out at the same time. So, yeah, I've always kind of liked Big Bird, and he's always got such a beautiful delivery. Let's see. The Big Cactus. Have you seen the battle for BFDI? Says Big Cactus. If not, can you please watch it? Also, can you collab with AVGM or Game Grumps? Say my name in the Homestar Runner voice. The Big Cactus. How would you deliver that? The Big Cactus. Jactus. The Big Jactus. Not sure how Homestar would deliver that one. Jactus. Jactus is probably how I deliver it. Cody Bibby says, and Squidward says the Ninjago TV show was awesome. I'm going to quickly turn over to Ether.io for a second. Would you rather play Agar.io or Slither.io? I play Agar a lot more, but I think I enjoy Slither lately. Would you rather be unable to experience sadness or be unable to experience anger? I don't know. It's really important. Both of them are so important, and they create... I mean, if you look at a lobotomized person and you see either of those disappear, they are already losing their humanity and so much of who they are. So, I'm going to go with anger. I'm going to go with anger because, no, sadness. Sadness really important as well. Both are so important. I'd rather be Gryffindor. Anyway, let's jump back to the questions. So, SpongeBob, question mark, says 51st Ferrara. Bluey would choose anger. Oh, it's a good choice. Remember, no employee wants to be a Squidward, says Darko Foxfire. Hey Josh, it's Leah, says Crazy Chick 961. Howdy, Leah. What do you think of the anime Fairy Tail? It's amazing. I only watched 2 episodes when I was 15 in an anime club, so I haven't watched it in nearly 15 years. So, it wasn't my favorite, but I enjoyed it at the time. Yes. Let's see. Sadness versus anger. I want to see an Inside Out clip of that. Me too. Spinge Bill. I'm laughing so hard. Hufflepuff Squad Unite. Gonna watch Norm of the North 2 and 3. It's A and O again. Gee, there is a 2 and 3 of Norm of the North, is there? I wasn't aware. I'd tune in. If you guys want me to review it, you let me know. Holy cheese, Strider, says Emily Lepsito. Fight shark with bare arms. Yeah, didn't you know the right to bear arms just means we can have some bare arms up on our bearing arms up on our shelves. How could that be misinterpreted? Yeah, I didn't know either. It was a 2 and 3. What was that question there? Howdy, partner Strider. Cap Fan 9876 Kaiju. Anime. Blush Fan says, howdy, partner Strider. Where did you first meet Luigi Fan? Please notice this. I met Matt years ago. He was one of my first online friends, actually. I think he was just tuned into one of my videos and commented, and I remember we just started chatting, and we've been close online friends for a long time. Really a good friend to me. Very glad to have met him. Be right back again, says Bluey Phantom. What? There is a Norm of the North Infinity War as well. I think you're not telling the truth on that, Peppy Pony. I'm starting to think that oh geez, I keep losing my place. Fun fact, says Malalama 57, cinema started all the way back around the 1880s. You know, I was looking back at some of the first films lately, and it really is incredible how the art forms change. One cool thing I noticed when I was looking at some old horror movies recently is, have you noticed how the acting actually changes, and what is actually considered good acting and body language has changed over the last 100 years, and I find that really cool. Yeah. What is your favorite animal? Probably gorilla. Probably dolphins are really cool. I'd say probably. Anyway, I will probably finish up soon, my friends. I think people are starting to lose a bit of interest, and Hopefully I've answered as many questions as possible. If you have any final questions, feel free to tune them in here and I'll answer what I can. Favorite Homestar runner character? Probably Homestar. Homestar. One-all. Line. Probably Homestar, just because he delivers everything in a fun voice. If you haven't seen Homestar Runner, I highly recommend it. Even just the puppet shorts they released recently on their channel is good. Any final questions? You're welcome. Are you racist? Says Devin. I don't believe I'm racist. I believe we're all a little bit racist. I try my best to be very aware of my own biases and stuff and try to not be racist in my videos. So hopefully I'm not too racist. Please do a collaboration with Gem Reviews, says Crazy Chick. You know, I'd like to. I'd really like to. I've been meaning to talk to him recently, actually, because I tuned in for his latest Simpsons video. And, God, it was a good list. It was a really good list. He did a top 20 of the best Simpsons episode. And I thought, YouTube is unfair. This guy's list is comprehensive. It's smart. It covers the points quickly. It's so well written. And I'm like... I either need to hire him as an assistant writer, or I need to have him on the channel a bit, because I've always liked Jem. I've always liked the guy, and you know, I've just never really had an excuse to collab with him. But he's welcome to contact me anytime if he'd like to, because I'd love to chat with him sometime. Woodman Gaming says, "Look at my comments," and Medicine Monday says, "My dude, are you doing okay?" I'm doing okay, thanks, Lolly. I'm a bit stressed at the moment because it's the worst time of the week for me, because I know I'm really behind on delivering videos, new top lists, and I tend to get very anxious because I've been doing this 3 to 4 years and trying to get one out every 10 days, and when I miss that deadline, I start to get anxious. So I've just been trying to calm down and keep going and get it all done, but hopefully. And I've also been interviewing assistant writers, so I've been a little bit stressed on getting side projects done and increasing the budget and stuff, and just trying to... And the great thing is that I've met some really great talent, people with some really good ideas. I took Cosmodor on recently for assistant writer as well. He's been really helping out, so there's been some great progress, but I am really stressed at the moment, so hopefully that doesn't come out too much on stream though. So yeah, hopefully that answers. I hope you're doing okay too with moving, Lolly. Have you seen Big City Greens? Asked Recno. I'm sorry, I've never heard of it, Recno. I apologize for that. He currently has a job as an app developer, Gem, so he won't be able to work for you. Yeah, I know, he's a busy fellow, and I'm glad to see he took a break, and just... It's good to see someone walking away, because YouTube can stress and burn out very easily, particularly if things don't go your way, and they often won't. Establishing yourself on here can be very difficult, so I'm glad to see he's more doing it as a side hobby now. You know, it's just, if he ever wants to do collab, he's welcome to chat with me. Do you like apples? Says Sarah Vogelspur. Yeah, it's my favorite fruit. I have had an apple before the live stream. I'll probably have one afterwards. They're 80% water, so that's really helpful in Australia because, as you can hear, I'm starting to sound a little bit parched because it's quite hot in Australia. You got this, Strider, says Bluey. Well, thank you, Bluey. Hopefully I'm doing okay. You know, Mason Carr, you're asking Mason Cole. You asked, will you do a best and worst Star Wars movies soon? I don't know if I'll do one soon, because the response to Marvel movies wasn't a lot of interest, and because of that, the algorithm just kind of sunk it to the bottom of the pile, so not as many people that I would have liked got to saw it. A lot of people, and I'm very grateful for that, but I'll probably go back to animation for a while. Yes, I've seen Anna Beckett, I've seen Seinfeld, and yeah, I'm really happy to see they ended up in jail at the end, but it's really good humor, and Kramer's amazing, and Jerry's a great foil, so I like the series overall. The characters can grate on you after a while. Yeah, Jerry can grate on me after a while. So yeah, I've mixed thoughts on it. Oh, we have a question from Whispers Keep. Thank you very much for the donation, Whispers. You ask, huge question. In most your videos, you don't seem to blink. It's a running joke on my husband and I to bet when and if you will blink. I've never noticed that before. That must be why. Because I always notice I get very red eyes after doing filming for 2 hours, because I'll do normally like 5 to 6 takes of each line and cut it down. Which, thank you very much to my editors for me managing to go through all my flubs and mistakes. I've never noticed that before. That's very perceptive of you, Whispers. I will try to blink more in my delivery in my videos. It's probably good for me. Squidward, you mean 2D from Gorillas? I must have missed the conversation there, Emily. Have you seen Studio Ghibli films, asked Squidward, and will you review them? You know, years ago I reviewed Howl's Moving Castle, which was one of my favorites. There wasn't much interest though. Pretty much whenever I talk about anime, despite me loving to have an excuse to talk about it because it affected me so much as a teenager, I don't watch very many up-to-date animes either, so that's part of the problem, and there's generally not much interest. So again, I have to use my time to a certain amount to, I have to sort of assume a certain amount of views for videos and stuff, and like, maybe in a quiet month or something I'll cover more, maybe the best and worst Studio Ghibli films. That would be fun. Let's see, favorite Homestar runner character? As I mentioned, probably Homestar 1-0. And everyone loves Strong Bad. I'd say, think of any others. Well, the Cheat's fun. Like, I like them all. I like them all. I think Coach Z is dumped upon a bit too much, and I don't like... You know, I'm gonna say I don't like Marzipan. After all these years, I just don't like her as much, and it's not because she's a woman, or I don't think it's because she's a woman and I'm sexist. I just find she's kind of mean to Homestar. She tends to kind of treat him more like an underling than a boyfriend, and he can be a jerk too as well. He doesn't always isn't the most caring guy. So I'm mixed on. I don't hate her, but I am mixed on Marzipan possibly. And King of Town. No, I like King of Town too, and he delivers a great Paducci. He's actually the best actor in Danger-esque. Homestar is really cool too. You are definitely not sexist. Well, thank you, Christy. I hopefully try. What is your most hated show you enjoy? It's too tough. I don't know the answer to that one, Yellow Cheetah, off the top of my head. Sorry, I'll let you know if I think of one. Let's see. Thoughts on Toy Story 4? Ask Z Gaming. Again, we haven't gotten in Australia yet. I don't think it's out yet, but in terms of it coming out, I, like everyone else, kind of wants to see more Toy Story, but at the same time, I'm really happy how it ended. So, I have very mixed thoughts on it. I probably will see it still. It probably will be a massive box office hit, but like a lot of people, I could have done without it. Perduki! You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, see you later, Lolly. Coming out for summer 2019. Oh, okay, so we haven't got too far to go in terms of that. Well, oh yes, and I am hyped for Lego Movie 2, Peppy Pony. Yes, I am. Alright, well, I think I should probably finish up about there. Thank you so much for everyone's questions and for tuning in for a bit. It's been a lot of fun and very supportive to come on here and just raise my spirits a bit. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll be out with a new video soon. Hopefully everyone will enjoy it, or at least find it interesting. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.